Hello and welcome to my Neopets long-term stamp investment guide. What is stamp investing on Neopets exactly? So stamp investing is the process of buying stamps for a low price and then selling them preferably at a higher price. The best stamps to do this with, in my experience, are Rarity 101 and Rarity 180 stamps. The reason for this is there's three different types of people who want these stamps. First, you have the collectors, which just want to collect any item. They're kind of hard to find, though, so that's normally not the best type of buyer. The second type of buyer you get with these type of stamps are the people looking to specifically do an album page on a stamp album page, which is, I suppose, a different type of collecting, but it's a little bit more sought after. And most importantly, when they are collected this way, they are consumed. And then the third type of collectors is honestly the most important of the three. It's the avatar collectors. So not all these stamps have avatars associating with them, but the ones that do typically have the highest demand out of all of them, just because people really like their avatars for the Neopoints. So, and like I said, especially when it comes to the stamp pages and the avatar, it's completing a stamp page, so same deal, where the stamps are consumed. So as you can see, the three stamps it comes to, the continually dwindling supply. And the big thing about these ones as well is that not only is it a dwindling supply, there's a fixed number on the site. Like, there's never going to be new ones created. Think of it kind of like the reserved list in Magic the Gathering. This is kind of similar-ish to that. Well, of course, with any rule, normally there's exceptions. There's exceptions to these stamps actually being kind of like restricted reserved list cards. So the current list of exceptions are actually quite few out of that list. It's only 4 stamps in particular that I found for sure are list of exceptions. Please leave a note in the comments if I forgot any, but I'm pretty sure I didn't. The Wheel Extravagant stamp, this is given out by the Wheel Extravagance currently. Obviously, new supply. It's not a fixed supply. Ghoul Catcher stamp, same deal. And the Mysterious Vibrant Collector, well, Ghoul Catchers is from the app, and that might, shut down. If it shuts down, then yeah, it would become one of these. But the Vibrant Collectible Scrab is, to my knowledge, unless Aldador Cup stops being a thing, that would continue to have more supply, because the requirement for it is to have 11 Aldador Cups participated in. And the Auric and Claymaker stamp, pretty same deal as the Ghoul Catchers. It's a different app, Puzzles and Letters instead of Ghoul Catchers. But all those have completely contradict the assumption of declining supply we like to have with the other stamps that we want to invest in. So they're typically just not very good investments, unfortunately. So stamp investing isn't perfect. It's far from it, but there's some definite pros and cons to it. So the best thing about it is, honestly, it's probably the closest thing to passive income in Neopets. The profits also can be very, very gigantic. Like, for example, some of the stamps I got for, 200, 300,000 Neopets are worth millions now. So you can get some absurd profits sometimes if you're in it for a while. And like I said, it is pretty easy after you get the hang of it. And these assets are like inflationary by nature. They're pretty much always going to be, they'll fluctuate quite a bit, but generally speaking, they'll go up because there's just no new supply coming in. Unfortunately, there are a few downsides to this. You need a large amount of NP to really start this effectively. This is for diversification. Like with any asset class, you really want to diversify and not put all your eggs in one basket. Another downside is, just like stocks, is that the price can suddenly drastically drop. But this is even more than stocks. Like I'm talking like 80% value overnight gone. Sort of crazy. It's like cryptocurrency, kind of. Well, I suppose that's exactly what it is. Well, not quite, but you get the idea. And it really is kind of a learning curve, honestly. Because there's just a lot of things you have to keep in mind. But I do have a few tips for you guys who want to pursue this. Well, first you have to... I actually had that out of order. Let's see how you can do it in the first place. So, the item database of the Jellyneo type, aka Jellyneo item database, is a very powerful resource. You can see pretty up-to-date prices on most Neopets items. I use it quite a bit. And there's a particular filter I like to check once in a while, is select the stamp in the shop category, set the rarity 101 to 180, and then sort ascending by price. It basically sorts the stamps we want to see, well, except for the few exceptions. But then you sort ascending by price. There are also a couple of like collectible coins that should show up in this filter, but don't actually show up in this filter. But as of the time that's recording, to my knowledge, are very inflated right now, so they're not really worth purchasing right now anyway. So, and once you do this, you look at the items. I suggest control clicking so you can just put them in new tabs, so you don't have to keep on using this filter, and you just use new tabs for it. And then you just look at the item history, like the price history, which is in one of the tabs for each item. There's price history, and you can look more into the item, see what is going on the shop wizard. Is it doing well in the shop wizard? Is it increasing, decreasing in price? You can try to tell that if it's like below the price on Jellyneo or above the price on Jellyneo, to see if it's currently increasing or decreasing. So it's kind of like stocks. So like you try to buy low, try to sell high. So if you've seen that it's been low for a while, but it had a history of being much, much higher, those are, in my experience, pretty good investments when it comes to these stamps. The key tips I have, now I get to the tips, are the diversification. I've said it over and over again. Diversify. Do not buy like 30 of a stamp. I've tried it before. It doesn't end well. The biggest issue with it is that Neopets is a relatively small community, so it takes a bit of time to sell items, especially ones that you can't sell in the shop wizard. So it's honestly in your best interest to get like 2 or 3, or I think the maximum I've gotten is like 8. Well, recently, other than my mistake near the beginning, but typically 8 is like my max. Like even if it continues to go down, I will not purchase more than 8. And something I found out that's really useful to keep track of everything, so you can keep track of how much profit you're getting, etc., is just using Excel or Google Sheets and just putting the buy and sell prices. Like through this process, I can tell through the ones that I tracked, I got 3 million Neopoints off of this. Just through the ones I tracked. So yeah, it's definitely nice to track them. If I had a little bit better tracking, I probably had a better idea of how much I've actually made, but yeah. Well, and like I said, the biggest thing about this is patience. You're not going to get millions of Neopoints overnight. This is a very long-term strategy. I'm a semi-active user. I come online for a little bit, for like a couple weeks, and then I get disengaged, and then I go away for a few months, and then I come back. You know, that sort of play. And because of that, like I just occasionally grab a few stamps here, and then sell a few here. And that's really where you want to be with this sort of strategy. You don't really want to be too active with it. So, in my experience, was just, you want to keep it kind of chill. And yeah, that's all there is. Stamp vesting probably my favorite strategy to earn Neopets. Neopoints on Neopets, and love to share it all with all of you. So I wish you guys luck with using this strategy to make yourself a bunch of Neopoints. And here are my sources to for this video. So first off, the stamp images, the items.Jellyneo. I will also have a link in the description in case you guys are having issues with the filters. I'll have a link with it pre-filtered for you, so you guys get an idea of what the page is supposed to look like when you have all the filters. The Neopets Bag Image, just got that off of Google. And then I did if you're wondering how I made all the images transparent, it's because I use Pixlr. I should probably have that on here, but I don't. I'll link it in the description. And the with Pixlr was I could manually make things transparent because the automatic transparent software wasn't working properly, unfortunately. So, yeah, so there's that. And yeah, the Shop Wizard and image once again from Google. And then the music is just like copyright free classical music off YouTube. No big deal. So, in any case, I hope you guys have a wonderful day, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.